Between now and when, if at all, we see the conversation between Ghislaine Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, what specifically are you looking out for next?
I think that the first thing we should look out for is uh, any sort of answer or any sort of response from this current administration. That may that may show where this is going to go. We may want to look out for any official statement from the prosecutor's office, from the U.S. Attorney's office. We want to look out for what the Supreme Court says about her case. We're going to want to look for what comes out in her hearing. I imagine Congress is going to want to hear from her eventually. But I imagine that the Trump administration is going to want this to go a certain way. The Epstein files have been a thorn in his side politically since the beginning of this administration. And it seems that the fervor around it is getting louder and louder. And it's something that we all agree on that we want to know more about. And it's something that so far the administration has been unwilling to share with us if they have anything on it at all. There's a possibility they've been completely honest that they have nothing to share. But I don't personally believe that, but it is possible. And seeing how that narrative changes is going to be very interesting going forward. And right now, Ms. Maxwell does not hold all the cards, and the prosecutor's office doesn't hold all the cards. So it's going to be interesting to see how they interact and the statements made by both parties moving forward.
I think that's a good point. And I know that Republicans, at least, were really loud in saying we will find exactly what happened here. We'll release the Epstein files. Then, when there are Republicans in office, that is seemingly not the case right now. I know you're saying both sides don't hold the cards right now, or all of the cards, rather. If you were advising Ghislaine Maxwell, would you tell her you cannot talk unless you have immunity and unless you're promised immunity? I mean, what would be beneficial? Why would she talk if she doesn't have immunity from a strategic point, do you think?
There's a certain amount of opaqueness of trust you have to put in the prosecutor when you provide a proffer. You aren't guaranteed something up front normally, especially not before the attorney proffer. And that's exactly why I think she was moved to a minimum security facility, because while they can't promise, necessarily immunity or that she would get some sort of plea agreement or a commuted sentence as a result of her talking about her client list or whatever she has to share, I think that there was certainly a showing of good faith, like I said before, and that will go a long way. Also, the fact that there's been a back and forth between the Trump administration and her counsel, saying that Trump wouldn't rule out the possibility of a pardon, and that in return, Trump didn't do anything of concern around her when he was certainly around her. I think there is sort of a give and take there. So it's very abnormal for the prosecutor's office to promise immunity, to promise a plea agreement before hearing what a client or defendant has to say. So you're looking for assurances from the other side that they're going to honor their agreement and not get something for free. Her being transferred is one of those things. Her getting a meeting with someone high in the organization is one of those things. Trump responding in kind, in person, is one of those things. And the fact is also that the administration is very interested. So you as an attorney have to feel those variables out and find what your defendant is going to do and what you'd allow your defendant to do.
I think, based on this conversation, that there's certainly a lot to look out for. There are signposts along the way. There's a lot to look out for. And until we get to that next biggest development, you gave us a lot to run through. And I hope that, Danny, you can come back on and join me once we either see what the conversation between Ghislaine Maxwell and Todd Blanche was, or if there's a significant development after that. Thank you so much for your insight today, your expertise. You are welcome back anytime.
Thank you very much. It was such great being on the show. And I look forward to next time. Thank you.